bunch of people across.
That's right. The sun never sets on GetSetup.
Yeah.
I don't think this virtual document is going to work too well. Sorry. Bree, if you're on, sorry, this is not going to go for me. I tried.
You try. That's all that matters. You're good.
Hey, Norman, do or do not. There is no try.
Seems like I've heard that somewhere before.
Yeah. Do you know from where?
From Star Trek.
Yoda.
Star Wars. You're pretty close.
Star Wars. Okay, close enough.
Yoda.
Bree, I like your background. Paul, I'm a little concerned about what you got going on there. I'm not even sure what that is.
Oh, come on, Lawrence. You grew up on it.
Indeed. The Muppets?
You got it.
Oh,
Oh, I didn't even know.
And we know who Waldorf and Statler is.
We do. Yes, we do.
Vicky, I like your background.
Thank you. It's from Frozen. Keeping it young at heart.
As long as we all don't have to sing the theme song later. Okay.
I don't think I really know the theme song. I know Let It Go. That's about it.
Let it go. That's it. That's the one.
Have you seen the second one?
I have.
I have not.
yeah.
Selena, I see your headwear.
It looks like the background doesn't work on me. It works on everyone else.
You got to get a faster computer there, Neil.
Oh, you're doing that just to be cool or something.
No, I'm seriously trying it. It just doesn't work.
It's
look
like,
like an-
MTV 1986 or something, Neil.
It looks like you made
yeah.
a special effect, like made yourself be special effect, Neil.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to figure out. I need a better computer. That's what it says.
And everybody's background is backwards. I think you got to click the mirror.
You know, we offer classes in Zoom.
Yeah, exactly.
I know a place.
Marv, we can always count on you.
Awesome.
All right.
Kiwi.
Marv, I love your dog with a Santa hat.
Oh.
Very nice, Selena.
All right. I'll put the background up later. Should we wait for a couple of minutes, another minute, and then get started?
Yeah, let's do that. And then Neil, before you get started, just housekeeping wise, why don't we have everybody go on mute? And then if people got questions they want to tee up, they could do it in the chat, and Bree and I could monitor it.
Okay.
Looks like we have a good quorum. We got 46, it looks like.
Chris. In.
So we'll start soon, but so maybe housekeeping, if everyone can go on mute. We'll leave the interactive. I think I can hear someone in the background.
Hey Neil, can you make me a co-host? I can auto mute everyone.
You are a co-host. Okay. Great. everyone can see my screen? Awesome. Well, just wanted to welcome everyone. This is our last all hands of the year. Actually, it's really amazing to see how many people are here, how big GetSetup has become. I mean, we started in March with 2 of us, and we now have around 56 people in our team. It's amazing. It's truly, I'm very grateful to everyone who has sort of taken that leap of faith to be part of our mission, which is to really build a learning community and improve people's lives. And I think it was a crazy idea when we started it, when Lawrence and I started it, and I convinced him to join me. We did not know we would be in a pandemic and how important the work we do actually is going to become. But I think everything happens for a reason. If you put positive energy out there in the universe, things just manifest. And I think this is really one of those cases where I'm so grateful. Like, this is the best job in the world for me, as to come in every day and just learn from all of you. I think this is really why I started GetSetup. I believe that there's so much talent, wisdom, knowledge to especially in our older adults. And, we need to create a mechanism or a platform to empower everyone to both share that and actually learn and unlock value. And I think we didn't know how to do it. But I really believe that because, I tease Lawrence about it, being the older guy in our partnership. And I always say, well, you're really a rock star. There's so much to learn from you, and similarly, my friends. And I think to actually build a product and a company that can actually do that at scale with your help is it's hard for me to believe, but I'm really proud of it. And I'm proud of all of you for taking that leap of faith. So I just wanted to welcome you and say thank you for doing it. Yeah. There are a few things I wanted to share today as we have grown, just mostly, how our community has grown. Just in the US alone, we've now had 20 guides. We're doing roughly 20 to 40 classes a day, and this is only going to increase. I'll come to that part later. This is just a picture of, I think, Norman leading a tap dancing class. I never thought we'd be teaching that on the platform, but great job, Norman. I think it was really fantastic. Every single class you all do, whether it's in technology, whether it's in, having fun, like dancing, whether talking about discussion groups, I think it just shows how important it is for everyone who participates in it. So really crazy growth here, and just interesting kind of things that people want to learn. I think people think of older adults as late adopters, especially in technology in Silicon Valley. And I think that's just, a misconception. I feel if we do what we've done well, which is created a place for them to learn in a safe environment, they can enjoy every single thing and we can do anything possible. So I think, we have shown just in US alone with the range of classes and the type of guides and the amazing work you have done, that we can teach anything online, right? From taking a selfie, which for a lot of people, that was the first time they took a selfie in a class, and to dancing or learning technology. I mean, the kind of feedback that keeps coming back from our learners is just a testament of how much we are changing their lives and how we are really opening up this new world to them. So this is just US. We never really thought we would actually be now in Australia. We just had our first class there, and we have I think we have Stacy and maybe a few, Gabby from Australia here on the call, but we actually had our first class in Australia this week. And, I met Stacy, who's sort of our first guide there during Mother's Day when we were going to get a campaign out, and Stacy bought a Mother's Day package for a mom, and now today is actually one of our guides in Australia. So it's really interesting how it's come full circle. So really excited about what we could do in Australia. The need and the community is pretty large. And so we're starting with 3 guides. We don't know how many classes a day we'll do. We think it's going to be about 10, but our goal is by early January with Gabby and the team to actually have 10 guides and do at least 20 classes daily. And then India, this was again, I think we started it partially because maybe I was Indian and I convinced Lawrence, let's do it because the need was there. But I mean, it's blown my mind, and I'm a little biased here. I actually put a picture of my mom because I never thought in my entire life that I could get my mom to use anything I built. And I've done other stuff in the past. And actually, this is a picture of today morning. They will send it to me where they had everybody dress up in their favorite Indian outfit and talk about it. And actually, it's kind of emotional because when I never asked my mom, like, why, how she turned 60 last year, and I never realized, like, what are the things she wanted to learn all her life? What are the things she wanted to do? And I think I did that last week and realized, the same reasons why we're doing this in the US is true even with my own mom. Like, the isolation, the loneliness, especially with the pandemic. And by just giving her this platform to actually meet other people on GetSetup, it's really changed her life. She takes 3 classes a day, sits down with my dad. I think most of the Indian guys have seen her. She loves every single class. And I think for me now, this has become so personal that we need to make this large and, scale it globally because there's so many untold stories, including my own family, that whose lives we can change. So I did want to highlight my mom. I think it's a little partial, but I actually missed this day when she wore this to my dad's retirement when he retired from work. And I think seeing that made me feel like a horrible kid, but also I'm proud that I actually got to see her in this. So I just want to say this wouldn't be possible without all the amazing work that the guides are doing. I mean, all of you are creating these opportunities for people like her, and hundreds of thousands and maybe millions of learners soon to actually express themselves. So I'm just grateful. That's all I can say. So keep doing what you're doing, and really excited to see how this will grow in India. We have an ambitious goal there because we have close to 100 million, at least I know, seniors who can access technology, and we want to get to a point where even in India, just like US, we want to create this virtual community for older adults where they can sort of just be themselves, learn things that they're curious about, and actually live the best life they want as they're aging. So all of this happens behind the scene. The reason we've been growing, getting learners in, is all the hard work that Lawrence, everybody in the team does, but the business development team, the partnership team, we have actually closed so many partnerships. This is just a handful of them, but it's exciting to see so many established brands, whether they are in the government, whether they are senior living facilities, they all have really understood the value of what we are creating and want to work with us, right? I mean, you'll hear about Michigan, we saw recently the governor talk about it. And that's just the start. We have other states. I think we have about 20 different states that are agencies that are working with us. And it's only going to increase. Very soon, we're going to go into healthcare, where we work with Medicare Advantage plans and offer continuous learning as a benefit. So, this wouldn't have been possible, the hard work of like the entire team with Paul, Patrick, Adrian. I don't know if you'll get to see them, but hopefully today they are on the call. But they're doing a phenomenal job at actually getting partners, and as we sign these partners, one of the things I did want to highlight, each one of them actually have, sometimes, thousands, sometimes millions of older adults they want to bring onto our platform. It takes some time to ramp up, but you can see this week was actually pretty crazy for us. Emails couldn't go out because the load was so high. We had our highest booking weeks. So it's all good. I mean, we just need to, on the product side, get better at servicing this demand, but it's really exciting to see this happen. And, it kind of aligns with what our overall goal is long-term, to get to 1 million users. The other thing I wanted to highlight is we have some amazing investors on board. We're very fortunate that people believe in this mission about how we can change lives. And, some of these names, I don't know if you all know, but, we have the founders of Yahoo, LinkedIn, people who have invested very early on in Apple, and like really, I think people who have done this before really believe the impact we can make and how big this can grow. So we're really fortunate to have a lot of investors that really care about this space, and actually have one of our investors who also is leading India, who's Deval, she's on the call, who actually believed in it very early. So how far we've come from March, right? This is just a snapshot of whatever data I could find that we see the day in terms of just where we were in March and how we've grown in terms of the number of people coming to GetSetup. Whether it's coming to read an article, see a blog, vote on a class because they like that class, submit a class idea. All of that is engagement because they find something of value on our platform and they want to actually share that with us. So, we want to get to that many people being in classes all the time, and I'm sure we're going to get there soon. But I just wanted to show you, like, this is generally unheard of, this kind of growth that we're seeing. It happens with companies like, early on with Facebook and Yahoo, because it shows that we've found and built something together that actually solves a problem. I think if we were building something that, was just a good to have, we wouldn't see adoption this much, right? I think we've built something that is, I call it as a medicine versus a vitamin. And the analogy is, you build a vitamin, sometimes people take it. It's not essential in people's mind, but when you build something that's like crucial medicine for their health, like, people come. And so this is generally an indicator that we've built something that can make a difference in people's lives. So we're growing quite quickly. Just in terms of the number of bookings that we see in classes, just in the number of people that come into the live feed. I know we don't see them in your bookings anymore, but they just show up last minute. I know in India, we've had a lot of trouble with getting people through the platform. And I know Deval and Anita have done a phenomenal job of using WhatsApp to really manage our entire GetSetup. So GetSetup pretty much runs on WhatsApp in India, which I never thought was possible, but they do it just because they care so much about the learners coming in. So this is just a snapshot, and it's only going to go up. But I wanted to share, like, this is really unusual and something we didn't expect that we would have to grow. So where we want to go, I think we have a very ambitious goal by May of 2021 to reach 1 million users active. And when I say active, we have about, right now, totally about 2 million eligible users, 2.5 million with all our partners. And our partners generally say, here's a list, like, go and get them into classes. So we have a huge addressable market. What we want to do as a company is really get to 1 million users who have taken a class and GetSetup. Because I truly believe if they take one class and GetSetup, they'll come back. Because that's where you all create the magic, right? The magic of GetSetup is that experience in the class where you're patient, you talk to them, you teach them something new, they get to meet someone. So, as a company, and maybe for me as a founder, my goal is, how do I get 1 million people to come and experience the magic that you're creating. And because I think once they do that, they're going to get addicted to it. So this is an audacious goal to get to 1 million for just a 1-year-old company, but I think we can all do it together. We have to ramp up on many things, which I'm going to show here. And this might look scary, but this is just to give you a sense of how can we get to 1 million users a month, right? If we do class sizes of 50, we would need to run 20,000 classes a month. We'd have to do 600 classes, 660 classes daily, 28 classes every hour. And we would need 220 guides who would do 3 classes a day. This is a pretty large number to get to from where we are. But I wanted to show it because it allows us all to think about, can we do more, or at least get ready to plan for capacity. But I think it's doable. It's ambitious but doable. But this is how we can get there. There are other ways we can do that. We can increase our classroom sizes to have more people in there in the class. That obviously brings it down by half. But I also want to involve the community. I think this is one of my other crazy goals is, all of you guides and instructors are amazing. And I know you all wanted to mentor some of our ambassadors. We have about 450 ambassadors in the US alone who are, actively showing up in all your classes. I think if we can get them to start hosting even discussion groups, or social hours, we can sort of leverage our community to create that space, right? And if we do that, we can actually get to that goal with faster, or we can get to everyone taking 2 classes, right? And I think whichever way we get there, I think it's important that we now engage our community to help us accomplish that goal. So it's definitely doable. And there are a few things we are going to be doing on the product side, on the operations, on the classes side to get there. Our second big goal by next year is to really become the trusted brand for this community. And I've spoken about this a lot, like, how do you build trust in the community, especially for an audience that has always been taken advantage of, if you think of, right? Either they're, when we think of our learners and community, either they're generally ignored, like mismarketed to, or feel like they are disempowered. And I think we want to change that narrative. I think we want to be that trusted place where everyone feels safe. They know what they're getting when they come here to get set up. They know they're getting a world-class community, a world-class learning experience when they're in classes with you. And they can trust us. Like, we will do what we say. I mean, sometimes, things might go wrong. Like, they might miss the class. Things might not work, but we want to actually do our best to help them get to their goals, right? And that's only going to happen if we do what we say we do. And I think it's an important milestone or goal for us to actually become that brand. I think part of what I've seen, talking to a lot of you, looking at the classes, talking to our learners, really this is sort of the pillars, right, of that brand. It's like we are empowering, right? Like we help people become independent, learn new skills, maybe get a new job, maybe connect with their loved ones. I think when we do that well, we actually empower them to be independent. I think that really symbolizes who we are as a company. I think we are all curious, whether you're a guide, you're a learner, or just me, who started this. I'm just curious to learn something new. And I think that really represents our brand. And I think we want to carry that forward every day in our class, when we interact with a learner, whether we are talking to a customer. It's important that we do that. We show that we are curious and we show that we care. I think being hospitable, another sort of key aspect of our brand on how we actually build trust is really just being hospitable. like just showing that we care, we empathize, we are there to listen to them, and offering world-class service, and then just being soulful. It's important that we carry that into our work. um, you know this is what will make us stand apart from all the other things or similar brands out there, right? Whether it's a competition, whether it's someone trying to get in later, whether it's YouTube, whether someone goes to Udemy. I think what will differentiate us is that we bring that to our classes and we bring that to how we do our work. So I think these are sort of the 4 ways I think it's really important that we capture it as we build our brand as a trusted place. Sort of the last bit is really how we are going to do it tactically, right? We've an amazing team with both on Judy's team, with Sean and with Larry and Bree and Melissa and everyone doing work here. And in India, Anita and Binda doing work there. Like, we want to offer 24/7 learner support, right? We want to get to a point where GetSetup is known for its learner first mindset, where we are there always to help learners achieve it. I think, when I see Marge and I see Marv already do that, I mean, I would love to hear Marv share a story, but it's really what we want to scale, because that's an important part of how learners trust us and then take that chance into the first class. Because just like my mom, I realized her problem is not that she doesn't want to learn, she's afraid to take that first step, because everybody in the past has told her she can't do it. And I think the way we can overcome that is by offering really world-class support to them, whether it's through new member orientation, whether it's to just being there on phone and video. And so as a company, we're going to really double down on this, like really get this to a level that even beats what Apple does with the Genius Bar. Respecting our community. We haven't spent much time in safety and security of the platform. We have so many learners coming in, and we are getting to a point where we have to think about it. So how do we make this community safe? How do we involve, aspects of making it secure as we improve our product, right? And then the last bit is really, thinking about what will get our community to come in and enjoy classes more, enjoy the discussion groups more. And that really boils down to reducing all the friction. We've tried our best since March, and I think we've got into a really good place, but there's still a lot to do. And, I think Chris and Vlad, I don't know if they're on the call, but they're all working really hard towards building this new platform, which will come out in January, which will make it really easy for learners to actually come in to GetSetup, come into one of your classes, after the class is done, join an interest group based on your class, stay back there, maybe chat with each other, and so really reduce the friction that is there in people booking, getting an email, maybe an SMS, things in India with WhatsApp. I think we want to reduce it because we want to get them to the magic as soon as possible. So really, these are the 4 things that are top of mind for us as the company priority: is becoming exceptional at support, building safety, security for our community, really getting very good at how we deliver classes and the chat functionality, and then just making our product really better. So this is how I believe we can actually get there. I just want to end with this, right? Like, GetSetup is all of you. I think, it's world-class guides. We have a strong, passionate team, a very active, engaged community, and we are improving lives of millions around the world. And I think it's a great mission, and I think it's all of you that make it possible. So I just want to end with saying thank you again. Like, we can't get there without all of your help, your support, your passion, your enthusiasm that you bring to work every day. And we can change the lives and improve lives of so many adults all over the world. So keep doing what you're doing, and really buckle up for the next year, because it's going to be an exciting year for us. So thank you once again. And I will stop and pass it on to Lawrence.
Thanks, everybody. I apologize for the silly hat, but it's really Bree's fault. I had to go find something that was seasonally appropriate very quickly. And I just want you to know that when I have my meetings, I don't usually wear a hat that looks like this. Yes, I think that it's appropriate to say a huge thank you. We're nothing if it wasn't for this whole team and everybody rallying around this mission. And I won't restate everything that Neil said, but we get up every day and we do what we do because we're excited because of the impact that it has. And to see that impact just makes us love what we do and want to do more. And we realize that, you know, all of the challenges that this demographic faces in the US is faced by this demographic around the world. So, you know, if we can help solve this problem in places like, you know, Australia, New Zealand, India, Canada, UK, and other places, we should try. We should try. And the added benefit of that is it allows us to have programming 24 hours a day for those of us who are not very good at sleeping. So, you know, why shouldn't a Canadian be able to take an Australian class, or an Indian person be able to take an American class if it happens to be a different time? So I love that, you know, we're seeing very positive results early on in the US, and that we're seeing more international momentum as well, because it just simply means we get to help more people. And, you know, as many of you might know, because of the excess demand over Thanksgiving, Neil and I got to teach a class, and it was great because it reminded us of the great work you do, because we get to spend some time on the front lines. And we realized that it's fulfilling. It can be difficult at times, but it's wonderful. It's great to be able to spend time with people we know are perhaps by themselves. Maybe they just want to learn something, but in that specific case, we got the feeling that, you know, they were really quite lonely and quite appreciative that we were all rallying and spending a little bit of time on that specific day. And I think as we move into, you know, December and think about the holiday season as well in many parts of the world and what's going on with COVID, there's going to be even more lonely people that are going to be by themselves and probably in need of what it is we do. And so, again, it's going to be important that we really rally and figure out what we can do to help folks. And so, thank you so much for everybody who makes this all possible. It really is a team effort. You know, I spend a lot of my days working with the BD team on, you know, talking to businesses and partners about the wonderful service that you all provide and that we provide together. And they love it. And we're proud to represent what it is you all do. And it's continuing to see huge momentum. They value it greatly. And it's going to be fun to start offering this to different parts of the world. So let me stop there by just saying thank you. And I don't know if Larry, you have any further comments, or if we want to open things up for questions.
Yeah, no, I just want to say I'm personally thrilled to be here. I couldn't agree with Lawrence more in terms of what is moving me to go from my bedroom to my home office every single day. As long as we're helping one person at a time and making a difference, it's extremely, it personally moves me, right? Because I'm finding myself as I'm walking my dog, telling my neighbors, sending them our website, you know, asking them to be guides. And again, to echo what Lawrence and Neil said, it's all because of you. You know, we want all of you to feel empowered to treat our users, to give them that wonderful experience each and every day they're in our classes. So thank you, and happy holidays.
Deval, would you like to share anything about India, especially, and Australia?
Yeah, I'll quickly give an update. First of all, I think a lot of our guides on the call. So I want to thank all of them, because you know, they all, not only do Anita and I do support, our guides also do a lot of support work in India. Not just being sort of community leaders. You should see our Facebook page. They're inviting their friends to join the classes, but also supporting us as there are tech issues, especially as learners here have challenges, signing up or going through the flow. So big thank you to them. I don't think we would be able to do what we do without them, and with having just very few members on the team. Uh, I mean, this week has been good. I think, echoing everything that Neil and Lawrence and Larry said, right? For me, I think what is empowering is just to see our top users already taken 132 classes. And she basically logs in the morning and logs off in the evening. And it's great to see that, right? We're creating, with our classes are slightly different, but we're creating a lot of engagement through them. And now Binda is going to help us, give more of her time to us to sort of design the curriculum as we go into January. And, try different things, right? So next week is Health Week in India. And we already have, 26 health sessions next week. Everything from your hair to your toenail, like there's a doctor who's going to come and talk about it. Obviously we're still working to fill those classes up, but pretty excited to see where that goes. On Australia, so we did our first class this morning, very exciting stuff. I think some of those users are already sitting in sort of the US classes, and I've opened up a lot of the US classes to them. So thanks to all the US guides, if you see some faces from Australia, and I think that will increase as the weeks go. But pretty exciting stuff. I think the biggest takeaway is that, obviously the pandemic has, pretty much reduced how social people are feeling, of just the ability to go out, right? And anything that we can do to sort of break that, it becomes a really good first step in establishing the trust, empathy, and relationship with the learner. So like the picture that Neil showed, the sari class this evening, which Binda hosted, I think it was one of the best classes we have done. And the reason is that, in the pandemic, nobody's got to wear a sari. Like you only wear it when you go out or there's some big festive season, right? And so we had all our learners open up their cupboards on the call and sharing like their collection of saris. It was just an amazing, I highly recommend anybody who can get a hand on that recording to watch it, to just see the enthusiasm and the energy that the learners were bringing on the call. And last, I think, is just some of the, tech process flows are very different in India. So we're working through those challenges. But I can't wait. I can't wait for us to get, our hands on the new tool that will come in Jan, that will make it more frictionless for the users.
Thanks, Deval. We'd love to open it up if somebody has a story about a learner or anything that you'll want to share, just your experience with GetSetup. We don't get to see it, but I know I get some of these stories, but would love to hear if you'll have something you want to share with the rest of the team who's not in your classes. Who's going? Sorry. Marv? Yeah.
I just want to say, being on the front line, it's incredible the people I get there. I got an older gentleman that could barely hear, but he was so excited about what we were offering. And he said, my first time, and his daughter was there, and the daughter was kind of talking, helping him to get along with it. But she said to me that she was so excited also about him being able to be there. So all the work we're doing is incredible. And I see it daily. It's so worthwhile. I'm sorry, I get emotional.
Thanks, Marv. I hope your Alexa is speaking more proper English to you recently as well. That story made me laugh, but I love the stories that you share on the front lines, because some of us don't hear enough of those, but we know that they're happening. So we love to hear the kind of impact that you guys are creating on the front lines. It's why we do what we do.
Anyone else have a story or something you want to share?
Yeah, sure. This is Paul. I'll tell a quick story. Everyone, for those who don't know me, I work on the partnership team. About a couple weeks ago, I was on a call with a partner and the organization was the Peninsula Area Agency on Aging. And, you know, I started to tell them what our aim was and how we were helping older adults who were sheltering in place. And, you know, I explained to them what we were trying to do and how important it was. And the CEO of the agency was actually on the call. And, you know, I told him a couple of stories about how, you know, there are some people who really hadn't really had a chance to talk to folks, and they got to meet, you know, some of our guides and how our guides were engaging them and how they were bringing them back into the class. And the CEO of the organization actually started crying on the call because it struck a chord with him, because, you know, his father was experiencing, you know, this very same kind of, you know, isolation. And, you know, by the end of the call, it was our very first call, he basically said, I'm in. Like, this is value. I see the value because, you know, this is the very thing that, you know, my father needs, and I look forward to using it. So, you know, you guys are doing some really great work on the class side.
Norman, thanks, Paul, for sharing that. Norman, you had something to share as well?
We have Anita as well.
Yeah. So I have two incidents to share. One is we have this member called Vijay Lakshmi Shetty, and when I was talking to one of the members, she just happened to tell me that Vijay Lakshmi was attending most of her classes, and she's such a happy-go-lucky, loves to sing and things like that. So I just came to know that her husband passed away. So of course we sent her a message. I did send her a condolence message from GetSetup, and she was like, you know, so nice about it and things like that. And she said, no, Anita, I'm coming back. I'll be there. Just give me 2 weeks. I said, no, take your time. I mean, it's absolutely fine. And there she is exactly after 2 weeks, and so sweet. Today she was there for the sari, and she was all dressed up and so happy. But yes, she did miss her husband, but she's like, it's like we are her family. And I thought that was just fantastic, you know, just to get her back. And there was we had this other a session on chat over coffee. So I just invited everybody to just come and just loosen up a little bit and chat. And there's this man, he's been also with us almost in all the classes. And while talking, like he just said, you know, I'm there in all the classes. I just love this place, and you know, I have nobody to talk to. And then he was almost in tears, and that was like really, I mean, all of us were like quite surprised that we didn't know why he was there in all the classes. But then he said he just enjoys it so much, and it was just an amazing feeling to know that we are out there helping all these people.
Thank you, Anita. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah.
Well, I have the pleasure of reading a lot of the feedback that our learners give us. And I'd say 95% of the time, they're really positive. I'll just give you a couple of excerpts of what I've seen recently. I was in a class with someone who I think Liz knows, because I think she's spoken to her already on the phone. Her name is Sandra. And she actually started to talk in the class this week before we had actually started it, before we even started the recording. But the quote that kind of stuck with me is that she said that our classes have transformed her life. And I thought that was really something. You don't hear that very often. And then just to add something that I got from a learner after one of Donna's classes, every class offered has been so worthwhile. I wish I had more time to take more classes. I love everything about the program, and I'm so thankful I found it. The classes and instructors have enriched my isolated life. Thank you. And this is pretty indicative of what we get on a regular basis.
All right, you're next.
Thank you, Bree. I also get to talk to a lot of people on the front lines when I'm taking phone calls and doing the video calls for help. And you know what strikes me, I think the most is most of the time when I'm talking to someone who needs help, there's still very positive about GetSetup. Even though they're struggling with something, they have great things to say. And I have one learner actually, maybe the same Sandra that Norman's talking about, I'm not sure, but she told me she found our classes very therapeutic. And she said, I'm quoting this because I wrote it down, I wake up in the morning and I wonder what the schedule is today. So we're the reason she gets out of bed. I just love that quote, and that's why I wrote it down to keep it.
Awesome.
Linda?
Yeah, I wanted to share recently in the social hours for meditation, I've been doing them once a week for the past few weeks. Every time I host one of the meditation circles, I like to think about, try to get an idea what the needs of the learners are. So as we started to approach the end of the year, um, what I proposed to them with one of our meditations is that I wanted them to visualize what they would be doing after the pandemic is over. What, to really see it, feel it. I gave them that instruction for them to take into their meditation. And what was really beautiful is the enthusiasm and the sharing after the meditation. We meditated for about, say, 6 minutes, that they were very encouraged that the images that they had or the feeling that they had. I remember one woman said that she usually is around her family around holiday time, and she usually sits on the floor a particular way. And she said during the meditation, she had all of these good feelings, remembering what that was like, and that she actually felt herself position her leg in the same way. So I wanted to share that because for me, it also is very rewarding to be able to help people to see beyond their isolation and use meditation and deep breathing as a tool to help them get there.
Thanks so much, Glenda. If you haven't already, you need to make sure to take one of her classes. I mean, take everybody's classes before the end of the year. It's very relaxing to hear her voice and all the instructions. Binda, can you go next?
Yes, thank you, Bree. So yeah, I would like to share that we in India already have more than 8-10 people who are regular, and they practically take 3 to 4 classes a day. It's so nice to see them, and some of them have gone up to saying that they organize themselves. They have started organizing themselves because they know that they have to do this back-to-back classes. So that gives us a very good, that's a kind of a motivation and an encouragement to all of us as guides that maybe there is something that is attracting them to this session. And they will mention about this evening class. Anita also made a mention. And most of the members say that this GetSetup platform has really brought in a big change in their lives, especially in whatever they have gone through in this last 7-8 months. 2 of the members, I would like to make a mention that one lady, Jyoti, she's very bubbly. She's practically there in every class, and suddenly she stopped coming for 2-3 sessions. She did not come. I didn't see her. And I made a call to her. I sent messages to her first. She did not respond to my message. So third time when I sent a message, I said, hope everything is well with you. And then I decided to give her a call. I called her, she spoke, and she was very touched. And she said, Binda, I'm feeling so good. Even my family wouldn't care about it if I was missing for 2 days. They would not have bothered. But you noticed that I wasn't coming in the class, and then she went on to say everything is fine. Her parents had come to her place, and she was just trying to be with them. And she's back in the classes again. There's another lawyer who lives alone. She's a spinster, and she does have some health problem also. So in between, she also was missing for some days, and I noticed that, and I called her. And again, that lady was very, very touched. And she said, like, GetSetup has become like, in fact, on the platform, she mentioned in one of the classes that this is like my second family. This is like my family, because she lives alone by herself. So I felt very good about that. Thank you.
Thanks for sharing. Michelle, you're next.
You're on mute.
Sorry, I thought you were automatically unmuting me. Hi, I'm on the partnership team, and I just wanted to share a really quick feedback from one of our partners, ElderSource, and they're in Florida, which if you're familiar with the US, you know that Florida is a huge retirement state. And a lot of times when deals are signed, they're kicked over to people that, you know, they weren't part of the negotiation, they don't know much about it. And so what we're really trying to do is to get them to embrace the product, attend classes, starting with the orientation. The more that they are able to believe in it, the more that they're able to spread, you know, the news about the partnership to all of their different members. So one of the women at ElderSource, Heather, sent us a note saying, I just got off the orientation class myself. It was really great. And I was amazed how connected I felt with the people I have never met before. I am really excited about the rollout. So I wanted to share that because that's one of hopefully many more that we'll receive once our team signs deals. You know, we really are looking to evangelize and get higher engagement, more partnerships. But the part that I want to just really communicate, you know, to Marv and to all of the guides, and I've attended some of your classes, is that it is, you are the embodiment of the brand. And so you make our jobs so much easier when the payoff is that they go and they attend these classes and they experience what we're actually talking about. They're able to share it. And what becomes a small AAA becomes a state of Michigan, which becomes Medicare, which becomes the Y across the US, which becomes whatever else in India and the UK, Canada, Australia, wherever we go. So just know that, you know, we're super excited to get feedback like that. And I just want to share it and thank everyone for all the work that you do.
Thanks, Michelle.
Now we have 5 more minutes on the call. I would love to hear anything else people want to share about their experience, you know, what are they most excited about next year? And yeah, just want to keep it open. We don't have enough time. We're a pretty large team, so, but thank you for sharing all those stories. It's making both, I think, me and Lawrence pretty emotional about why we are here and why we started. We didn't realize how powerful this can become. So thank you. Hey, Mark, yeah.
10:30, talking about dogs.
Love it. Love it.
Is your dog going to be wearing the Santa hat? If so, I'll be there.
You know, it's so hard to keep clothes on dogs. So I try to bring them in for a short time. But I started out, my first class was 3 people. Today I'm going to have 10 people, so it's growing. So by the time I introduce everybody and all the dogs are all there, and I love to always try to have them make friends with other people in it. So it's going to be a hoot, and I got a couple videos that'll be fun. Anyway, I don't want to go there. Just show up.
Well, dear. Lawrence, I guess if we have a few more minutes. I said, again, just wanted to say thank you. We have an exciting year ahead. I know some of these are really crazy, ambitious goals, but I think all these goals can be made possible with a phenomenal team and a community, which I think we have with all of you. And I feel, we want to do this in a way, I think, that really takes care of our members, our team. This is not, we have to keep reminding ourselves, and especially me and, Lawrence, we both are endurance athletes. Like, that's how we met. We run long 50 milers together. We bike, for like 100 miles at a time. And I think we have to remind ourselves now that GetSetup is actually a long marathon. It's not a sprint. And so we're not trying to get to something in 2 years and leave. Like this is one of those adventures where we're going to go be at it for a long time because of how big this can grow. So, I think some of you have reminded us about that, including sometimes our family. So thank you for reminding us that this is a marathon, and we want to do whatever is the right thing to do. Because our learners are not going to go anywhere. If we build a good brand and a trusted place, they will keep coming back. So, so thank you again. But let's really aim high, because there are a billion people that we can go to, and we want to I think at least help those who need it as soon as possible. So once again, thank you so much. Lawrence, do you want to close this?
Yeah,
We'd
just
like to take a team photo first before we close it.
Yes.
If people can turn their cameras on and smile, and then Lawrence can close.
great. Bree, do you have everything you need to take the photo?
Selena and Liz are taking the photo. We just didn't want to do it throughout the meeting and have everybody like kind of slouching. We wanted, at least for me, I like to know when people are taking pictures.
Are you going to count to 3 or what?
Say what?
Are you going to count to 3 for us?
Sure, I will count to 3. Okay, everybody.
We need a little bit more than 3 because it's 2 windows. We got to take 2 different windows.
Okay. Just after I count to 3,
doing
just
something?
keep smiling. 1, 2.
Sorry, Bree, we couldn't manage the background in time, but here it is.
That's fine. You're okay. 1, 2, 3.
Are you taking another one?
For a better smile.
Done.
Yay!
Well,
Thank you.
Great.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great December. Happy holidays. And thank you again for all of the great work that you do. You are really having a tremendous impact on so many people and on so many lives. So thanks again. Season's greetings, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend, everyone. Be well.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.